Good morning, everybody. It is June 10th and time for an update. Weather's nice. Rain came through this weekend, but it's cleared up now. It's going to be nice and warm. So, figured I'd give you an update on what's going on. I'm not sure if this was all mulched last video or not, but the weeds still keep coming up. These are evil, prickly weeds. You can't kill them. They're like Medusa. If you rip the head off, 3 more come up. So, I got the hostas. I forget what these are called. My wife said, but I can't remember. You can't eat them, so I don't really care. Got some porch lights put in, or sidewalk lights, solar ones. Trimmed up that bush there. Do have a volunteer. If I had to guess, it's going to be a mini pumpkin. This guy decided if I'm going to let it grow in our front yard. I shouldn't, but it's hard for me to not let it grow. Okay, here's the first part of vegetables. This is going to be hopefully someday a blueberry bed. I bought 4 plants. One was dead when I brought it home. So I currently have 3. One of them is there. Read online that rabbits can eat the leaves, and I'm not sure if that's what's going on with that one, but it lost a lot of leaves. This guy's been about the same. I don't know. I mean, there's no leaves on the bottom, so I don't know if the rabbits are getting to that one too. And then this guy. I think it's 2 varieties. Not sure. As you can see, more prickly weeds everywhere. And then I have some hot peppers. Had a bunch of seeds inside. Decided to throw them in dirt. See what came up. I don't know what variety these are. But they're starting to take off. They had a slow go of it because of all the cool weather. We had unusually cool weather literally up until this weekend. I think it's going to be a little bit cooler for this time of year this week too, but finally warm enough for these guys. I had a bunch of extra eggplants that I had grown from seed but didn't need them in the garden. Anyway, yesterday I walked through and just randomly put them in places. As you can see, the flea beetles have been busy. You'll see that on every one of my eggplants. More hot peppers here. Like I said, I don't know what variety these are. The only thing I can tell you is they're not habanero, they're not jalapeno, they're not cayenne, they're not ghost pepper, they're not reaper. So that is all I know. There is the raspberry jungle, which is doing just beautifully. As you can see, the darker leaved canes and then the lighter leaved canes. That's because these things, they come up in the spring, the dark leaved ones. So those are all the new ones, and as you can tell, they have no raspberries. So first round you don't get any raspberries on them. In the fall they will put raspberries on, but when they come back the next spring they put raspberries on again before they die. So this section makes me happy because this side part of the house I never really took the time to take care of, to weed. And as you can see there, so I got no production out of it. And these guys take care of themselves. You got the occasional prickly weed I got to pull out, but that's easy maintenance there. And you can see just tons and tons of raspberries. So hopefully these will get bigger and we'll get a whole bunch of raspberries. I do worry about them ruining my air conditioner, but so far so good. Good morning, Dove. Okay. Alright, the asparagus that used to grow here, I moved over there, and I guess it didn't work because it never came back up. And I never saw any come back up over here, so I think I dug it all up. Okay, so what do I got going on here? I have potatoes. That's what you see growing here. These, I believe, are red potatoes. Yeah, they got, I don't know what these are. I had no idea they put... Oh, wow. If anybody knows what they are, let me know. Can I make potatoes out of those next year? That's weird. That isn't good. Look at all the bugs on that, and you can see the heads dying. You know what we'll do? We'll rip that off. Step on the bugs. Okay, this one... Yeah, I really need to start marking what I put in my garden, because somewhere in this area I put a sweet potato. And I do remember the one thing about sweet potatoes is that it had purplish leaves underneath. And it's putting flowers on like a potato. But I also have a weed that looks like this, but I'm pretty sure the weed is prickly, and that's not prickly, so hoping in a couple months when I dig that up, there will be sweet potato under there. Something enjoys eating the potato leaves, but I don't think it really damages it. It's doing fine. I did start putting grass down. I had put weed killer down about 3 months ago, so I figure it's safe now, and it's a wonderful mulch. It keeps the weeds and the grass to a minimum and holds the moisture in. Some weeds will get through, the prickly ones, and another one here and there, but it makes it a whole lot easier to maintain. This is a volunteer squash plant I took from the main garden. No idea what it is. Another one of the random eggplants. And these holes here, come to find out, might be skunk, so not happy about that. Hey, the 2 habaneros I planted down here did not do well. They are getting some dark green leaves, so maybe they're going to make a comeback, but they are struggling. And that's what I make my hot sauce with, so I'm really hoping that comes back. Another random eggplant. Okay. I got 3 squash plants over here. Sorry for the shadow. These are another one, like a pan squash, which I've never grown before because family's picky and I'm not sure they'll eat it, but I want to try them this year. The next grass cutting, I'll be filling up this part, mulching this area. There's another eggplant there. The garlic I had over here is just gone, so I guess that was a failure. That is an habanero. So that one looks better than the other 2. Over here, cucumber plant. There. That's a cantaloupe. And that's a cantaloupe that has been eaten alive by something. I don't know what. Looks like some kind of worm. Alright, those white moth thingies that fly. And then another cucumber. I did have another cantaloupe there, but it's gone. It died. And then back here, you can see it. Volunteer bean. Probably green bean, but I have grown the scarlet runner beans here also. Got some raspberries that start spreading. Here's my tomato. Like I said, every video so far, the grape tomato I took out of an Olive Garden salad. And putting potatoes on. Some are turning colors. And potatoes, or onion leaves, or flowers. Getting ready to start tomatoes. That's doing well. There should be 2 squash growing here, but they never came up. So over on the other side I have some blue Hubbard, butternut that I started. They haven't come up yet, but they'll go there. They'll fill that in. I believe that, I'm not sure what that is. Some kind of pepper plant I started, and I don't remember what it was. There's a nasty stump I can't get rid of. Keeps growing some stupid bush thing every time. Not really sure what that is. It could be a tick maybe. I don't know. A rabbit had a tick on it. pretty nasty. Okay, and here I have 4 squash that I don't know what they are. There's some kind of melon or squash, cantaloupe, I don't even know, but they have started. These 2 are a little further along. Hopefully they survive. Another one of the random eggplants. Okay, now the main garden. Let's see what we got here. Got a volunteer squash plant. It's probably going to be pumpkin. I guess I'll let it go, but I don't know that I even really want pumpkin. Volunteer tomato plant that I moved. And one of the extra eggplants. Okay, so then back here, these 2. I think that one, I believe, is going to be an habanero. It's doing pretty well. And this one, I believe, is the jalapeno. Jalapeno did awful last year, so hoping it does better. I do have another volunteer tomato. Not sure how many of these I'll let go. And if you see these pods here, this is Swiss chard. The rabbit loves Swiss chard, and I don't really eat it, so I grow it for him, so he'll leave everything else alone. That's not Swiss chard, bok choy. But hopefully that's the ladybug. Or that is the Japanese beetle that looks like a ladybug, which I think it might be. They have some Swiss chard growing down here amongst the weeds. Hopefully they can survive. The wildlife likes them too, so they may not. I have a small squash plant I'm curious about right here. That volunteer. And that one's a volunteer also, but bigger. That might be just a little pumpkin, and then it won't be as exciting. This plant, I think, is habanero, but it's growing more like a jalapeno, so maybe it's a jalapeno. I do have a few carrots. My hope was all along this fence line to grow carrots, but only a few came up, so every now and then you'll see them. I'm not really sure. I don't know. I guess I'll figure out what these hot peppers are when they start growing. It's another volunteer squash. And here's not a volunteer squash, but I don't remember what I planted. Oh, those are probably bell peppers. That's what those are. Those aren't even hot peppers. They're bell peppers, because there's one. That's an early bell pepper. Super early. And then look at the damage. Look at the damage by the damn flea beetles. I mean, I would just be loaded with eggplant if it wasn't for those damn things, and I don't have the energy to come out and get them all the time. And another squash. There's a leaf with flea beetles on it. There's another eggplant. Just not getting big between the weather and the damn flea beetles. I'll hopefully take off. This looks like a watermelon. This also looks like a watermelon, so hopefully those can take off. And there was my healthy eggplant when I brought it out, but you just see the flea beetles all over it. So annoying. And I don't use insecticides, so just gotta live with it. That's a cucumber. There's my pineapple. Not really taking off like I had hoped, but maybe when the weather gets warmer. And a volunteer tomato. That's probably the Texas Roadhouse cherry tomato plant I usually grew. Pokeberry. You know, kill humans, but birds love it, so soft side of me grows them. Just trimmed down the maple tree. Alright, let's go see what we got over here. Put these up so when my kid plays basketball he doesn't poke an eye out. Worked so far. Alrighty. So what I have going on here, that's bok choy. That's gone to seed. But then I also planted some more bok choy because the rabbit loves it, and he's been an annoying us by eating the beans and the peas. Occasionally he eats the tomatoes, which is surprising. I didn't think rabbits like tomatoes. So anyway, I put a whole lot of bok choy. I put bok choy between every plant in here so that he'll snack on that instead of... Here's some more bok choy. A volunteer tomato. And then my kiwi. It's supposed to be a hardy kiwi plant, so hopefully he takes off. See what he's all about. And there's another volunteer tomato. Not really sure what kind of tomatoes these are. It's either going to be beefsteak, Zapotec, or the aroma. And also along the edge of the fence, my grand plan was for beans. The beans are really starting to take off. Yeah, they were barely past their 2 leaves a week or 2 ago. Now they're just really taking off. As are the tomatoes. The tomatoes look great. And I also have peas, which have struggled between the rabbit and the weeds. But I did finally weed all this out, so hopefully they rebound. The dark plant ones, or the dark leafed ones, they've already made peas. Not a ton, but they've made some. The light colored ones are just starting to put them on. You can see the damage from the rabbit. Yeah, I build this to keep the rabbits out, and then we let our rabbit in, so makes sense of that. This would be another variety of tomato, one of the 3 I mentioned earlier. And the peas are starting to put pods on, the light green ones. Hopefully they keep going. We love the peas. A whole lot of bok choy came up here. More beans. Looks like they're going to start looking for something to grab onto soon. Get more bok choy. More carrots. Carrots are doing pretty good. The ones that came up anyway. And more peas. Just need them to fatten up. Getting close. That one might be ready. Probably not. Okay. And then these 2 are more the Olive Garden tomatoes. More bok choy. This one's just starting to put flowers on. It had a rough start to life, but rebounding nicely. This one isn't growing very well. Not really sure what's going on with him. If he doesn't come up, then the volunteer tomato can take its place. And this guy. This one's looking real healthy. More of the Olive Garden tomatoes. You can see all the flowers on there, and some tomatoes are starting to grow. More peas back here. Well, let's let this guy climb up the fence. So, that's what I got going on in here. And it's supposed to warm up, supposed to get a lot of sun, so I'm hoping, between the rain soaking, getting everything established, and now the sun coming along, give them energy that these guys will all take off on. I did. For those who remember my cucamelons from years past, usually get a ton of volunteer ones of those, but I only have one right now. Where did he go? He's right there. So I'll let one of them go. If another one comes up, I'll let it go, but for now, just have the one. Okay. Alright, we have more raspberry canes, putting on the raspberries. Old ones falling over and a little yellow, and the new ones dark green. And here are the seeds I started. It was a few days ago, so they haven't sprouted. I don't know if that's too much water. I might need to get a break from the water for a little bit. Basil, honeydew, butternut, and something else. I don't remember what. So anyway, that is what I have going on so far. I'm not getting a whole lot of food yet, but things are starting to take off, and another couple weeks I'll probably be eating every day. So Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff. And if you have any questions, comments, or want to see more of anything else, just let me know. See everyone next time.